on, family? Welcome to Blacklogic. Trump indicted in Georgia election probe. A grand jury in Fulton County, Georgia, has indicated former President Donald Trump and 18 of his allies on charges of racketeering and conspiracy to commit election fraud. The indictment alleges that Trump and his associates pressured Georgia officials to overturn the results of the 2020 election and that they engaged in a sweeping and systematic effort to interfere in the election. They're being treated as mobsters. And that's exactly how they should be treated, because if these allegations are true, which there's a lot of evidence and proof that it is, then they should be treated as such. Wildfires in Maui, Hawaii killed over 106 people. The death toll from wildfires on the Hawaiian island of Maui has surpassed the 106 mark, according to Hawaii's governor. The fires have also destroyed over 1,000 homes and businesses, which has cleared up a lot of beachfront property. There are now Hawaiian TikTokers coming out and stating that they have been approached, they have been contacted by realtors and real estate investors trying to buy the property. Now, a lot of people within the grassroots media have been pointing this fact out, that once this subsides, as people start to escape, and the survivors will be approached by realtors as well as investors to buy up this property and build billion-dollar homes. This is a state of emergency. This is when the federal government should give aid to Hawaii to rebuild those homes and put force and justice behind the insurance companies and ensure that they get exactly what that property is owed so they can rebuild and live their lives, versus having real estate agents and investors come and take over the property. Christian song by drag queen tops the charts. So a Christian song by a drag queen known as Peppermint has topped the charts on Apple Music and Amazon Music. The song, titled Unapologetically Me, states that it is a celebration of self-acceptance and love.
Oh my God!
If you haven't made aware, a plane crashed into North Carolina's lake, killing 2 people. A small plane has crashed into a lake in North Carolina. The plane was carrying 2 people when it crashed into Lake Norman. The cause of the crash is now under investigation. If you wasn't made aware that more than 11 million pounds of plastic pollute Lake Michigan every year. A new study has found that more than 11 million pounds of plastic pollute Lake Michigan every year. The study, conducted by the University of Michigan, found that the plastic comes from a variety of sources, including stormwater runoff, industrial waste, and littering. And what that simply means, family, is that they're having these manufacturing companies and the industrial sector dumping waste inside of the lakes of Lake Michigan that stretches across into Canada as well. Also, we understand ever since 2020, inflation has been on the rise, but lately it's been subsided, but there has been an uptick. But to give you some historical background, last year, June, inflation hit 9.1%, which was the highest level in 40 years. Now, the latest inflation data is a major blow to President Biden and the Democrats, who are facing increasing pressure to address the rising cost of living. Because last year, it rose to 9.1%, then it dropped, and now it's on the rise again. And we're still in historical times, breaking records when it comes to the consumer price index with the rise of inflation. The increase was driven by the rise in prices for food, energy, and shelter. And lately, we've been having all sorts of food factories, milk, eggs, as well as cattle burn, get destroyed, and we've seen a massive killing of livestock being poisoned by unknown entities, the government, excuse me. But as we see here, family, in July, the consumer price index for all urban consumers increased 0.2%. And a lot of you saying, hey, that's not really that much. Seasonally adjusted and rose to 3.2% over the last 12 months. As we see, energy has been down, but all items have risen to the point of 3.2%, which includes food and all other items except for energy. If we take a deeper look at this, family, and look at the time chart here, 2020, inflation was down to 0.1%. And throughout these past 3 years, inflation last year rose to its highest in 40 years to 9.1%. Then through federal regulations to suppress inflation, inflation has been dropping, and it has dropped down to 3%. But lately, inflation has rose to 3.2%. It states here, over the 12 months ended in June of 2023, prices for food at home increased to 4.7%, compared with a 12-month increase of 13.5% for the year ended August of 2022. And notice that gas last year started to decrease, but now once again it's on the uptick, because the average amount for gas in the U.S. is sitting around $3.87 per gallon. Also, in other news, a hip-hop rapper by the name Easy Meal has signed a deal with Shady Aftermath Records. And I've heard his latest song, which is Realist, and it's okay. Can he rap? Sure he can. But is he that really good? Not in my opinion, and I'm not hating. To give you guys a quick update on the U.S. Army soldier who ran across the North Korean border, North Korea has now come out and stated that Travis King is indeed in North Korea in detainment. News reported out of South Korea, Seoul, states that North Korea on Wednesday offered its first official confirmation that it had detained a U.S. soldier who bolted into this country last month, releasing a statement through its propaganda outlet, attributing unverified statements to the Army private that criticized the United States. One expert called the announcement 100% North Korean propaganda. Is it true? Is it false? Do we really know? As Black people in America, as foundational Black Americans, we know this country all too well. Does that mean that the North Korean officials are lying? Or is Travis King is telling them the reality of how Black people are treated in America? Lastly, Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town suffers historic drop from the Billboard Hot 100 top spot. And this is good. So you made a subliminal, right in front of your face, prejudice, race, white supremacist song, and stemming from the Montgomery, Alabama boat brawl, shows that trying anything in a small town where there's a group of brothers and sisters on code, willing to defend their rights, this doesn't fare well at all. Be one.